Today we're talking about electric bicycles. A buddy of mine thought he found the perfect ride. Affordable, smooth, and ready for everyday use. But after a few weeks, reality kicked in. The range dropped faster than expected, the motor struggled on hills, and the build just didn't hold up. Because here's the truth. Most electric bicycles are designed to look good on paper, not perform in the real world. Which is why today I'm breaking down the best electric bicycles for every budget, the ones that actually get it right. Let's go! Let's start where most people are afraid to start. Under $500. The assumption is that anything this cheap is a toy. The Qlife Cityone is here to embarrass that assumption. You get a 48-volt UL certified battery tucked clean inside the frame, not strapped to the outside like an afterthought. Front suspension, dual disc brakes, and a 1,200-watt peak motor that pushes you to 28 miles per hour. Real traffic matching speed, not parking lot speed. Hills up to 20 degrees? Handled. One owner logged 1,497 miles before the first service visit. The rear rack holds 120 pounds. Puncture-resistant tires. Adjustable stem for a custom fit. All under $520. But here's where I have to be straight with you. Real-world range sits at 20 to 25 miles per charge, not the advertised maximum. If your commute is over 12 miles each way, that matters. Plan your route around that number, not the box. So the question becomes, what if you want that range problem solved, but you also want a bike that handles rougher terrain without flinching? That's exactly what the next one does. Most bikes at this price make you choose commuter or off-road capable. The Cycrown CycRun doesn't. Those chunky fat tires aren't just for looks. They absorb potholes, rough asphalt, and even light gravel without you feeling it in your wrists. That matters more than any spec sheet number, especially for new riders. The wide stance gives you a planted, confident feel from the first pedal stroke. It's not intimidating, it's the opposite. You're not white-knuckling over bumps or second-guessing your line through a pothole. And at $500 to $700, you're getting genuine terrain versatility that usually costs twice this. Three things it nails: stability, approachability, and eye-catching design. What it trades off? The build quality isn't the most refined, and long-term durability is average for this price tier. It's a great starter, not a forever bike. Now, what if you want that fat tire confidence, but with power that actually makes you grin every single time you hit the throttle? If you've made it this far, you're not just casually browsing. You actually want to get this right. Good, because this next bike is where things get genuinely fun, and where a lot of people realize they've been underbuying. The Amyet S8 doesn't look like an e-bike. It looks like a mini electric motorbike. Thick frame, bold stance, moped-style proportions. Twist the throttle and it pulls hard. The kind of acceleration that makes you laugh out loud the first time you feel it. In city traffic, you're not keeping up, you're ahead of it. Fat tires keep it stable. Everyday usability is solid. At $700 to $900, this level of punch and style is a legitimately great deal. Just keep in mind that it's heavier, and it's not fun to pedal without assist. If the motor cuts out mid-commute, you'll feel every pound of it. But what if you want this performance, and you also want it to feel premium? Smooth? Like it was engineered, not just assembled. That's the next level. There's a difference between a bike that can commute and a bike that was built to commute. The KBO-K1 is the latter. Clean design, lightweight, pedal assist that feels like an extension of your own legs, not a separate machine fighting for control. In stop-and-go traffic, that smoothness is everything. Less sweat, less fatigue, more confidence at every intersection. After a week on this bike, people stop dreading their commute. A removable battery means you can charge at your desk instead of hunting for an outlet near a bike rack. Solid daily range. Low maintenance overall. This is the package that genuinely starts to replace short car trips, not just supplement them. At $800 to $1,000, this is the sweet spot for the I just need it to work every day without drama buyer. What it doesn't offer? Speed thrills or aggressive riding dynamics. Ready for the jump into serious e-bike territory, where the ride itself becomes the point, not just the destination? This is the line. Below it, you're getting transportation. Above it, you're getting an experience. The Eahora APUS crosses it with a motorcycle-inspired design that feels premium before you even ride it. This isn't just about how it looks, it's about how every component feels when you're moving. The power delivery is strong but controlled. Confident acceleration without the twitchiness that cheaper motors can't avoid. Hill climbs become non-events. Longer distances stop feeling like efforts. You stop watching your battery percentage and start actually enjoying the ride. At $1,200 to $1,500, you get better range, higher speed stability, and noticeably premium components throughout. It's a noticeable jump in quality, not incremental. The trade-off? It's heavier, and it loses nimbleness in tight urban spaces. If you're constantly weaving through narrow alleys or crowded bike lanes, that's worth factoring in. But what if your priority isn't just performance? It's freedom, the ability to throw it in a car, take it anywhere, ride anything. That's a completely different kind of bike. Still with me? Good, because we're getting into the territory where bikes stop being commuter tools and start being lifestyle gear. And this one might be the most unique thing on this entire list. The PXid Antelope folds. It has fat tires, and it looks like something out of a tactical gear catalog. That combination, portability plus ruggedness, is genuinely rare at this price. Most folding bikes sacrifice capability for compactness. This one doesn't make that trade. Throw it in your trunk, take it to a trail, ride rough terrain without hesitation. At $1,300 to $1,700, you're paying for freedom of movement that a full-size bike simply can't offer. Strong build quality, great stability, travel ready by design, not just by marketing. The real compromise? Smaller wheels mean less comfort on long, sustained rides. If distance is your main priority, this isn't your bike. So what happens when you stop caring about portability entirely and just go for pure, uncapped performance? The Async A1 is categorically different from everything above it. Low-slung frame, dual battery setup. It sits closer to a lightweight electric motorcycle than any traditional bicycle, and it rides that way. The geometry alone tells you this wasn't designed for weekend errands. This is built for range and road presence. At higher urban speeds, it feels planted and completely controlled. Not nervous, not unstable. Range anxiety disappears. You stop doing the mental math on whether you'll make it home. At $2,500 to $3,000, you're in the space where e-bikes start replacing not just bikes, but actual car trips, grocery runs, cross-city commutes, early morning rides before the roads fill up. The honest drawback, it's heavy, and pedaling without motor assist is genuinely unpleasant. This is a motor-first bike, plan accordingly. But what if you want ridiculous range and you never want to think about charging ever again? The Aniioki A9 Pro Max has one obsession: distance. The oversized frame, the massive battery setup, the commanding ride height, every design decision points at the same rider, someone who never wants to plan a route around a charging station. This is commuting for days, not miles. Weekend rides without a charging strategy. Multi-stop days without a second thought. At $2,800 to $3,500, the range justifies the price in a way that's hard to argue with once you've experienced what true long-distance riding actually feels like. You stop thinking about the bike and start thinking about where you're going. Fat tires, strong, consistent power, commanding presence on the road. But it's also big, heavy, and not agile in tight spaces. This is a bike for open roads, not crowded bike lanes. Now, what if money genuinely isn't a constraint, and you want the absolute pinnacle of what an e-bike can be? Every open loop this video set up, the HPC Revolution W closes all of them. Carbon fiber frame, extreme power, elite components throughout. This doesn't feel like an e-bike. It feels like a machine engineered to dominate. And the moment you ride one, you understand why. We're not talking about assist anymore. This is full acceleration that rivals small motorcycles. In real-world riding, you're not keeping up with traffic. You're leading it. And because the frame and components are built to match the power, the stability and control back it up completely. Insane top speeds, long-range options, a level of performance that most bikes cannot physically approach. At $8,000 to $12,000 plus, you're paying for the peak of what this technology currently offers, and you feel every dollar of it. The honest truth? It's overkill for most people, and it's not street legal everywhere. But if you have the means, the use case, and the appetite for the absolute best, nothing else on this list comes close. Not even remotely. And that's the list. Did we miss any of your favorite ones? Let us know in the comments. And don't just stop there. If you're more of a trike person, this video has got you covered. Tap it!